Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. We are arriving at the Barrett Jackson Auction. Huge shout out to Ford for the invite. Very excited to see the new Mustang lineup, and very scared to do autocross for the first time. How do you think that's gonna go?
Based off your previous experience with the ditch, yeah, just don't let the nerves get to you.
The nerves have gotten to me already, but I'm excited. I feel like we shouldn't be allowed here. This is a little much. This is a little much. Huge shout out to Ford. This is crazy. This is very surreal. Maybe we're just extremely tired and we haven't woken up. This is the dream.
Hey, this is definitely worth being on 45 minutes of sleep.
Definitely. And I think we may be on our way to do a little autocross in a Mach 1. Never done autocross before, but I guess there's a first time for everything.
I did it before. I almost wrecked my drag car.
It doesn't seem like there's a ditch for me to go in, so that's a good start. You know, based on the way these tires look, I'm assuming we're about to go pretty hard, so this should be really good. So Jay and I are about to get our ride in the Mach 1s. There's one 10-speed, there's two 6-speed manuals. Don't know which one we're gonna get. Either way, it is a little wet, but it still looks like they're pushing it pretty hard, so it should be really cool. Oh. How's it going? Dude, how are you? Pretty good. Pretty surreal experience so far. This is my first time in a 10-speed and a Mach 1. Okay. Wild. Being able to take a turn like that, that is nuts.
And it's still slippery when it's dry. It's even better.
Wow. It's such a different experience than going in a straight line.
Oh, totally. You actually slow down and turn.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, that's when these cars shine.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
that was awesome. What'd you think?
The brakes. I knew the brakes were good, but thank God the seatbelt worked.
Well, I was sitting there, he was pulling up, and I was like, there's a turn there, and this man's going 90, and it's wet. And he took it like a champ, and the car took it like a champ. That is wild. Oh my gosh. Oh my.
Stop the drift brake, got the big wing in the back.
Oh my goodness. Look at this paint, man. This car is so good looking in person. It is nothing like I've seen online. Once you see it in person, it's so different. Goodness, huge Brembos up front and the Brembos in the rear. I believe this also has the Dark Horse Appearance package, which gives you that painted stripe right here. And it goes all the way across. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that that is supposed to be exactly where the vapor is whenever they do the aerodynamics test that you see in those big chambers with like the smoke and the vapor that goes over. So that's also a really cool touch. Got the 315s in the rear, the 305s in the front. That's for the handling package. That's what I got on mine. This is amazing, man. So we've got the Dark Horse here. We've got the regular GT here. GT convertible over here. I believe this one has the 10-speed in it. Looks beautiful, man. The red looks really good too. Wow. So sitting in the normal GT here, this is gonna be your view in the S650. You got that big screen up front. Everybody's been asking for an update on the interior, and Ford gave it to us. It looks so good, super futuristic in my opinion. As far as how it feels, the Recaros feel amazing. I know mine are a little more stiff on my 2016. These feel like they have a ton of cushion. It feels awesome. As far as the shifter, now I had an MT82 already, but this feels so much smoother. Granted, mine was a 2017, this is a 2024, but it does feel a lot better than it did when I had mine. We've all seen this electronic drift brake. I'm so pumped to see this thing in action. Really can't get over the seats. I know I complain about my Recaros frequently, but this feels perfect. The cushioning is awesome. It hugs you perfectly. Ford definitely did a great job on these Recaros. It's like we got the hood popped. Wait a sec. Is every one of them dual throttle body?
I believe so.
I thought it was only the Dark Horse. Gen 4 Coyote. It looks sick. I know they're working on the Whipple kit and they bring the 2 throttle bodies into just one. I wonder if you could do a twin turbo setup where you use both of them. That would be sick. This is what happens when you bring your mechanic with you. He starts looking exactly how he's gonna work on the stuff that hasn't even come out yet.
Got it figured out.
Yeah, I mean, one of those will be pulling up to your shop, so you gotta know how to work on it. So I'm checking out this whole new interface, the really big screen. You have all the different options. There's so much customization. My favorite part is when you're changing between modes, the animations that come up. So cool. Look, so we're track, drag strip. I know, track use only. And then as far as your actual what everything looks like, you can change that right here. So right now we're in normal. Change it to sport, track. What is that, 9K? Calm, what is calm? Oh, I like that. Fox body, old style. Look at that. That is so sweet. The customization, there's so much. Look at this. Tell me that's not like a video game. What? Okay, so you can change the exhaust modes too, like this. That's cool. So you can sit there and mix and match anything. You can have, you know, the sport dash, and then you can have the track board here, and you can also have the different exhaust settings while you're doing it. So you don't actually have to go into track mode to have the track exhaust setting. That's really cool. All right, we are about to wrap it up for the day. Mustang brand manager Jim Owens is about to come out, tell us about the Dark Horse. He's about to come out here, kind of give us a little spiel on the Dark Horse, and we're all just gonna sit there and admire it. I wish that they had the manual one here so I could see that new shifter, but that one that they have is the 10-speed, but I do want to hear everything he has to say. Apparently, there's a lot of really cool stuff. But again, we're on 45 minutes of sleep, so after this, I'm ready to go to sleep for a very long time.
You notice on this Dark Horse is, you know, it is the first new performance nameplate we have brought into the marketplace in 21 model years, right? And the Bullet was the first new one, and that's ancient for your guys' age, right? That first Steve McQueen Bullet type vehicle was the last new one we had brought in. So this is the Dark Horse. First new nameplate, as I said, in 21 years. The reason Dark Horse, it was the horse, if you look up in the definition, what is the Dark Horse? It was the one you didn't see coming. One of the things that they were looking at in the 500 is you can see the flare of the nostrils. Now that represents the air coming in, and if you think of it, processing air through, like Boss 302, the runners in the box, that's how engineers help get more efficiency and more horsepower out of it. So that dual breathing, like if you think of the nose, with the dual air boxes, because we have dual air intake in here into that combined throttle body up to, for the runners, that's kind of like that nose, that horse breathing, because when the nostrils flare is when they're actually running and they're actually in that aggressive to help bring more air in. This is the appearance package. It is blue ember color. That blue ember color is unique to the Dark Horse and Dark Horse appearance package only, right? So like Mach 1, right? Through the 23 Mach 1s. You got the appearance package. Fighter Jet Gray was a unique color for the appearance package only for Mach 1. So we're trying to make it look unique. It's not Mr. Chrome. And for those of you who aren't aware, go look it up, right? The color plate flop. Matt and I used to take calls, and we'd have to have a VIN number before we could give out the paint to the body shops. Like it was liquid gold at how much it cost us. The nostrils feeding the cold air, and I can't show you this with opening up the hood. This feeds in the cooling and the cold air. Functional air extractor, because as you're putting air in, it's got to go somewhere or it's going to cause lift on there. No secondary latch system like pins or anything to keep it down. A couple in here you see, obviously the tri-bar type front lights, right? We've always had the tri-bar in the rear. I think it was 07 or 08. We did the sequential on the turn lamps on there, so you have it. Patrick just hit the lights on there for me. It has something called approach lighting too. Not why you'd buy a Mustang, right? But you walk in within 50 feet and it'll come in, I think it's 50 feet. With the key fob in there, it comes up and does a welcoming piece in there, like a sequence across, and then the Pony projection lamps will actually show up as the Dark Horse logo instead of.
Okay, so not that was I was about to say.
Just like the GT500 has the Cobra, this one has the Dark Horse on there. But the painted stripes that we're doing, it actually, if you see the pictures in the wind tunnel of the steam/smoke that you blow through, those paint stripes kind of go to highlight where the actual air goes over. When you compare the pictures, it's pretty cool. As we go around, and again I said 500 horsepower, naturally aspirated. We have the internals from the GT500 in there. Don't know exactly which of the pieces. I mean, I know most of them, but we haven't come out with that yet. We did that for the RPMs we were running off of it, and to generate, you'll see when the peak horsepower numbers come out, we say 500, but where it comes out at there, we're spinning it a little bit more. Not 8250 like the GT350. Those GT350s literally redlined at 8250. And those things would pull, like, so the seat of your pants are like 75, 76, 77. You can still feel it in the seat of your pants. And then the 4th generation Coyote motor. And that 4th generation Coyote motor will eventually be like in the Ford Performance Crate motor catalog, because it's, uses more of its displacement than most of the motors that you buy. That's one of the cool things about the Coyote. And if you go in there and watch the videos on YouTube on the development of the engine, you'll see it maximizes that better than most of the other V8s out there. The Brembos, 6-piston Brembos, the actual rotors themselves are more like the GT350 with the center hub and spoke that we have. So it's the 2-piece on there, vented. We have gone to Pirellis from Michelin. And it's not that we don't like Michelin, it's just you want to grab the tire that's going to work with the car and work with them. So we bring in partners that actually, sit and develop unique cookie dough and unique cookie tin, like with the mold you put it in, for this car. So this isn't just a P0 that was developed for off the shelf. It's a P0 that actually is developed for the weight, for the suspension setting, for how you put it on the track. So it's really actually working with good partners on that. But this time we're actually offering on Mustang GTs and EcoBoosts a 19-inch wheel Brembo brake package where you can select the colors. So we have the black with white lettering, we have the red with white lettering, and then the grabber blue with white that I ordered. And they actually have now the ponies on the calipers, along with the Brembo. Yeah, it's a little cool, like little Easter egg thing. There's a bunch of Easter eggs in the car that I can't tell you. That's one of them that you'll see.
Could you say it handles better than the GT350? Or in the same
learnings. So the learnings, the 350 is, that's what we call, the HP1 level, like the top of the pyramid one. Yeah. This is right now the top of our pyramid for what we have on there. But this isn't the developed specifically, for the track. It's not the 350. It's not the 500, right? This is more akin to the programs like Boss 302, Mach 1, Bullet, and it is by far, handling wise, lateral grip, going through road courses. We test a lot at NOLA, where this substantially outperforms the Mustang Mach 1. 10-speed automatic, the 6-speed Tremec manual is standard. Now on the drift brake, which we can talk a little bit about, we literally had Vaughn and Chelsea working with the engineers. Vaughn, Chelsea driving, engineer in the passenger seat with the computer plugged in, adjusting how that drift brake works. Here, one of you want to sit in it? So this screen it's done on Unreal gaming technology, like the same stuff that's done in Rocket League, same code that it's written on. Craig Sandevig and his team went through and did it. Like, you can just sit here and customize it, right? Younger people like the opportunity to personalize their electronics, right? Now, a lot of folks over Mustangs 6 generations previous, you can do it with stripes and colors and wheels and tires and, you know, suspension settings and exhaust and all different ways to personalize it. But if you think of how you personalize your devices today, you set up your screen. It's allowing you to personalize it to yourself in the way you want it on the interior as well. You know, plus showing you all the different things. 6 different profiles now that you can set it to, right? So when you go to the suspension setting, right, it highlights the suspension and right, that's what you're changing.
That's awesome.
You know, when you go to the steering setting column, right?
When it comes to the exhaust, isn't it to where you can be in sport mode, but as far as the exhaust, you can still have it on anything as far as quiet, so sport? You can mix and match it now. You don't have to be in track mode to have.
So you can, on the cluster
exhaust
theme appearance, I can either match the drive mode that I'm in, right? Or I can just put it as normal sport from an appearance standpoint. And then in here, when you go to custom mode, I can have the, you know, it's currently in track. I can set the, let's say, sport. And it's like if I do profile 1, I can change the suspension from sport. I can keep traction control on or off if I want. And then you can save, the exhaust isn't on here. This is, like I said, a pre-production one. But then you can also then set the exhaust mode as well.
Is the MC82 adjusted, or is it the same one?
There were some changes to it. We didn't say like 4th generation like we did on the engine, but there was some adjustments to it based off of the new layout of the vehicle.
I think. Oh, bro, the light in the grill flashes with it.
Does it?
Yeah.
turn signal.
You can take your own interpretation. We haven't announced yet the RPMs and stuff, but that might show you. What a crazy car!
I want to see what he was talking about with this. So if you slightly pull it, it puts the brake on. If you slightly pull it,
Sure,
it takes
only
the
if
brake.
you're set still too.
Yeah.
I think it has a new higher red line. I think it's gonna rev to 8K.
It's gonna rev to 8K.
Because before, I think the red line was 7,000 and a red line at 75.
Right.
Now it's at 75, so I think it's going to go to 8. And it didn't go to 9K before, it only went to 8K before.
The e-brake is sick, so you just lift up and then it
All this did was make me want mine more. I'm ready for it. I want mine. All right, well that is gonna do it for the Barrett Jackson auction. We are running on fumes, but it was fun. We had a good day, and now we can say we saw the dark horse and sat in it, and got to talk to Jim Owens and hear all the details about it. So that was really cool. Now we just have to wait until early summer to get my dark horse in, and then I can have this guy work on it. So again, huge shout out to Ford. I still think it's kind of crazy that they got us to come and do this. That's kind of wild, but hopefully that's not the last time, because this was a really cool experience. Maybe next time we can do it at like not 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it was a little rough.
A little bit rough, but it was worth it, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. With that being said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.